Hey everybody, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. Today we have to finish up down in the basement on that AC unit. If you haven't seen the video, go back and see it. It's really interesting and scary what they did to hook this up. But we need to go down in that basement. We need to finish up wiring that in. So stay tuned and let's go get that done. So we had to unhook that air conditioning unit because someone had wired it right into the main without a breaker or anything. When we redid our EV electrical, we upped the amperage into the garage, and while we were in there, we had to take the faceplate off of the breaker box and found two wires just tapped right into the main, running out to the air conditioner, which is just insane as it goes. So while I was in there and had the power shut off, the solar shut off, the battery backup shut off, and the power shut off because it is a nightmare to do all of it at the same time. I went in there and I rewired it. I cut those two wires off, or removed those two wires from the main, and then I ran a line from the breaker up and out of the box, and it's sitting there now waiting to be hooked into the air conditioning unit, so that it has its own breaker. So we're going to get that done. So I got to get some tools together and head down there and finish that up. So I'm building right now. I'm building a an electrical bag. I need to be able to take what I need just on the fly. So I have this little tool bag that I use for whatever, and it just kind of sits around empty. So I'm going to put tools in here that I use all the time for electrical. My cutters, uh, big cutters, needle nose, screwdriver set, the type with multiple bits. Mainly the one that is for electrical is the one you want. The only thing I cannot find is my wire strippers. Lord knows where they went. So as I was saying in the intro, they had this line piped right into the main, right off of the main cables into the house. They had this breaker in there, so at least there was some redundancy. But when you have, the house was electric when it was built, and everything was electric. The water heater, the stove, everything was electric. Well, we've gone with a gas stove. We've gone with a gas range, gas water heater. Pretty much everything is gas now. And with our solar, we're not so much. But you've got two outlets for the range. They had one for a swamp cooler, everything else that you could possibly imagine. Water heater over here, range over here. So what we've done is we had to update the breaker for the garage to a 60 amp to allow for the EV charging. And so while I was in here and saw this nightmare and had to shut everything down, all the solar, everything down, I ran this line here because I knew I would have to redo this this quick disconnect for the AC unit. And I've got it set on this breaker right here. So everything in here is done. The wiring is all complete. Your locks are in and everything. The only thing I've got to do now is run this to here. But in order to do that, I need to pull this old cable out, and then I'm going to put in another hole because this won't fit through here. I don't believe so. I'll run another one up a little bit higher up, and then loop it down into the box so that we can get that taken care of. We've already got the power off on it, so we're good there. So let me get the drill ready, and I'll be right with you. So anytime you're running through a stud, you should always put little metal plate. Notice that nowhere here are any of the little metal blocking to keep you from like screwing into it. I get it that this is an open wall, but you should put them in that way if somebody ever decides later on to add drywall to everything, you've got it covered. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and drill our hole right about there. Go ahead and be aware of any lines that are there so that you don't run into those. So you just want to be very, very careful when you're doing this. This is aligned to something new. It was rude. Okay, we need to pull the cover off of this box. Well, let's see. I've never messed with one of these, so curiosity will kill the cat. So it looks like everything comes in from underneath it back here. So, it being electrical, it should be relatively simple to figure out. I've never had to mess with one of these, so it shouldn't be, well, pretty straightforward. 220, you can tell, two different lines coming in. Kind of weird how they did that, but do what you do. Okay, sorry about that. Had to do a quick battery change. So it's pretty simple, white, black, and ground. It's also a heavier gauge wire than what's coming in now. So we've got our wire coming in back here, so we want to unhook it. It looks like we have our wire going out and in, coming in the same port back here. So easy enough to fix that. So let's see. We need to know which is which. So on this one, we need to unscrew a little bracket that goes into our fuse box. And we've already, as you see, got our connector here, so we'll probably bring it into a different one than this one's going out. So because they've got them both combined in this one, and I'm not really about that. You should keep your wiring separate if you've got the ability to do that. But once again, this is that some guy engineering that we've got going. I'm just going to leave that alone.